Hello and welcome to Shop Talk with Dan the Man. Today's video I'm going to show you how to put new trimmer twine on this trimmer. This is RIDGID's cordless trimmer. Stay tuned to find out more. Hello, if you're new to this channel, my name is Dan Shannon. I enjoy woodworking as a hobby and being out in the shop. On this channel, dive deep into my shop as we explore tools and tool reviews, as well as chatting about everything related to woodworking. If this grabs you by the tool belt, please subscribe to my channel if you want more videos like this. Welcome back to Shop Talk with Dan the Man. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, thanks for coming back. Today's video, I just want to show you how easy it is to put new trimmer twine on your cordless RIDGID trimmer. And this is model number R01201BVNM. So this is RIDGID's 18-volt cordless trimmer. I've used it for over a year now. I have a full year review on it, so you can click up here if you want to see that. But for this video, we're just going to strictly talk about how to install new trimmer twine. So let's go ahead and jump into that, and I'll show you how easy it is to install new twine on this trimmer. Okay, so I have my trimmer here. I have the end of the trimmer. Let's turn this more of an angle so you could see a little bit better. This is some cheap twine I had from a previous trimmer. I actually ran out of the original that came with it, the orange stuff. So you just want to pull out the leftover, and you're going to notice on your machine there's a lock and unlock button. So more or less you're in the lock position. In order to do the unlock position, you're going to want to push in and twist it, but we're not going to do that. There is a way to pull this whole unit apart and manually feed the twine through. But what you're going to want to do, this is a very fast and efficient way to spool this. And at first I didn't know. I took it apart and then I fed it through the holes on the sides, and it was just kind of complicated. It was kind of the old way to do it. But the new way with this new spool system is you can actually just get your twine prepared. And what RIDGID recommends is you take your twine, and this twine you can go on and do different reviews of different quality, different brands, and I'm trying this out. I haven't had this before. This is Husqvarna's Titanium Force. So this is a very strong line. I watched a review on the usage of this line and other brands, and for me and what I'm doing around the yard, this will work very well. So what you want to do is you want to get a length, and in the owner's manual for this, it will tell you the exact length to do to spool this entire unit. Now for me, just for demonstrations, I'm just going to take off a couple of arm lengths, and when it runs out you just refeed it. So it doesn't really matter if it's like a lot on your spool, but that's preference again. So I'm just going to do a few arm lengths of this. So I'm not measuring, I'm just kind of getting a fair bit, and then use your cutters and just cut it off. And then you can set that aside, set your cutters aside. And what you want to do is you want to take your overall length And you got to divide this in half. So you just take the two ends together, and then you have your full length. So that would be the center of your line. So the purpose of having it half done is when you feed it through, you want to make sure as the trimmer is releasing the string, it's equal on both sides. So you have the same cut. So that works two ways. A, you have the same length of twine on either side, and B, it's a good balance on the inside. It has the right even amounts on either side, which shouldn't affect it too much, but in theory, you know, if you have the same amount of material coming out on both sides, it would fare better. So what you want to do is, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but if you look through one of the sides, the holes, you'll notice you can see right through the unit. Now, if that's not the case, you won't be able to slide this all the way through the unit. So what you want to do is push in on this bottom. Now there is a tool, it's a winder tool that came with it. It's packed away somewhere right now, so I'm not really sure where it is. But what you want to do is push this in and keep turning it until you have that lined up where you can see through the entire unit. So once you turn that and get that lined up, I'm going to peek through and see if I can see that again all the way through. Once you get that lined up all the way through, and you can see from the outside hole and you can see light on the other side, you know that you're good. Okay, so once you get that, you literally just grab your twine that you cut and you feed it through, and it should come out the other side just like that. And what you want to do now is make sure you have the same length. So that's what I was referring to before. So obviously right now it's not centered. There's too much on one side versus the other. So you just grab both pieces and just pull it through until they're the same length on either side. So as you can see there, it's the same length of twine on either side of the spool. And then the rest is very easy. You can take your winder, so you just leave the extra material down, and you can take your winder and actually crank it, but since I don't have a winder, it'll take me a little bit longer to do the same process. But you basically just wind it into the spool itself. And then I usually just give it a little bit of a tug just to make sure it's planted nice. And you can check with your cutter, and that's it. That's as simple as it gets. So instead of pulling this whole thing off, which I used to do years ago, you'd pull this whole thing off, there's a spring in there, there's a cartridge, it all falls apart. Then you got to figure out, oh man, how do I thread it and do everything? Well, in this case, you just line it up so you can see daylight, slide the whole thing through, make sure it's centered, twine it, and then you're all set. So that's a very easy way to install the twine on this, this trimmer. And I'm sure there's other models, Husqvarna, different ones have a similar head attachment on their unit. So if this one didn't come with it, which RIDGID does supply, which I'm actually really grateful for, because this is super easy, very quick, very good time. So I will cut with this twine, this Husqvarna, and see how it makes out. Had very good reviews online, so I'm just gonna see how it handles over time with bricks and stones, because I have that around my property. And yeah, thanks for watching today's video. Hopefully you learned how easy it was to install twine on this RIDGID cordless trimmer. I'm sure it works for other trimmers depending on the type of head that it has. If it has a quick refill on the head, then it's probably a universal way to do it. But this is strictly for RIDGID's one. This is the only one I have and own. This is the only one I'm able to show for installing the trim. Well, thanks for watching today's video, and as always, please give me a thumbs up. And don't forget, if you're not part of the Shop Talk family, click on that subscribe button down below. We'd love to have you on board. And yeah, thanks for watching again, and have yourself a great day. I'll see you in the next one.